Hey yo, what it do, NLH crew? Welcome back to another episode of Out of Bounds News. It's your boy NLH Media, aka the self-proclaimed YouTube Rookie of the Year, and you know we got an all-star starting lineup for today's story. So without hesitation, let's jump into it.
I'm already done here, have you thought back?
Ryan, for the first story of the day, we're gonna talk about Mi Hermano de Una Otra Madre. We're gonna be talking about the bro, the reggaeton sensation. We're gonna talk about Bad Bunny. We're gonna talk about how this man en solo septiembre gana más que $100,000 in just fucking tours. He gained over 100 milli on just tours, and I'm like surprised, man. Like he's already making money through the label. He's already getting like the 90-10 split. That's already insane just to think about. But just the fact that he's getting all this from tours. And like you gotta put into account that the album is going insane. You gotta put into account that the singles are going crazy. Like he's just got so much money. Like for him to be making that money in 1 month alone and just off of tours alone, add that on top of that, you gotta put this man on this scale of like just top artists. I put him on the scale of like Rihanna. I put him on the scale of like Drake. Like you have to. Like those guys, they put numbers like that like it's nothing. And this man is so young. He's only been at it for like not even half of a decade to even a decade. Like he hasn't been at it and he's like still going crazy. He's going berserk with these numbers. Like what? Like I'm lost for words, man. Shout out mi hermano, shout out mi parcero Bad Bunny, estás haciendo fuego en the booth, ya tú sabes. And up next, we're gonna talk about Rihanna, aka We Found Love in All Places. Alright, let me stop the singing. I know I can't sing, but I'm a semi-decent rapper on the low. But we're gonna talk about how Rihanna, she's finally back in the media, like for music this time, not for like behind the scenes or whatever, like, you know what I mean. She's going to have a single on Wakanda Forever soundtrack. And for those who don't know, Wakanda is the sequel to Black Panther, and I'm excited for this. It's exciting to see what the MCU is gonna do following what happened with No Way Home, and then following the tragic death of my boy Chadwick Boseman. Wakanda Forever, R.I.P. Rest in peace. But the film is set to release on November 11th, which is steadily coming up soon, and the soundtrack will officially release the week before on the 4th. And this is insane because Rihanna hasn't been on the solo field as an artist in about 5 to 6 years, and this is gonna be her first time like being back as a solo artist. So like, this is a W for both. W Black Panther, W Rihanna. Both of them coming back, collabing together, and they're just creating and just going crazy for the black community, African community. Shout out Jadeon, shout out Lil Baby. It's bigger than black and white. Problem with the whole way of life can't change overnight. But like for real though, like Black Panther, it was like the most pro-black movie, not in just Marvel history, not just superhero history, but of all time. Like no cap, no cap. And it's just insane how it's continuing to keep going. Like the legacy is still there. It will not surprise me if this features more black artists. We see J. Cole on this. Wouldn't surprise me if we ended up seeing someone like Kendrick on this again. Kendrick had his album a few months back that went crazy. So I can't wait to see what's gonna happen. I'm definitely excited for Black Panther. I'm definitely excited to see what this movie has in store, and I'm definitely excited to see what the soundtrack shout out Rihanna has in store as well. And up next, we got some rap news. We're going to be talking about Chingy, aka I like the way you do it right there, right there. That was on like the 2K soundtrack when I was like, what, 15, 14? Chingy is back in the media today because he was on a recent tweet where he was on the top 5 worst rappers list. Well, I'm not going to really talk about Chingy's reaction to being on the list because, I mean, I don't think Chingy is I'm gonna do a typical NLH. He's not shit. He's not lit. He's just on that middle ground. I don't know where I'm gonna put him because I can't really give him a base opinion because number one, I wasn't really born when he was popping off. But number two, when I was like 5. I want to talk about the people on this list more than I want to talk about Chingy. I know it's sad. I know he's on the thumbnail. I'm sorry, gang, but here we go. Chingy is number 27 on this list. Let's talk about the fact how Lil Yachterton is on number 2, and he brought the suspicious liquid to a foreign country. And that is popping off on the SoundCloud charts right now. Like, I really want you to think about that. We're gonna talk about how Lil Pump and Smoke Perp and Snitch 9 are on number 6, 7, and 8 on the list. Lil Pump makes sense because he's been irrelevant since like 2015, 2016. Smoke Perp, do I really have to say what's up with Smoke Perp? Homeboy couldn't even get mad people to pull up to a show. And then, I don't want to get my owner. And then we got to talk about Snitch 9. Do I really need to say anything about Snitch 9? Okay, those are like the notable ones at least. Okay, I'm lying. Let's bring it back to Chingy a little bit. The reason why Chingy's on this list is because he was like a semi one-hit wonder. Right Third was like his biggest hit, but he couldn't really capitalize off that. I mean, he had a little bit of a momentum here and there, but he just could not keep it going. He could not keep the consistency going. And then he was one of those run-of-the-mill rappers where they had a decent stint, few years, but couldn't really keep it consistently like the rappers of today, like someone like J. Cole, someone like Kendrick Lamar, and so on and so forth. Someone like an A$AP Rocky. He couldn't really do that. He couldn't really get the job done. So that's why Chingy is on this 50 worst rappers list. I feel we need to be more insane of the fact of the list itself, more than the fact that Chingy is on it. The reason why Chingy is on this is the fact that he like flamed it. He's like, I put the stepping stone for the rap game. I did this, but it doesn't really matter. Like, I don't care what you did for the rap game. I mean, I do to an extent, but at the same time, like, what you did does not translate to what you became. So that's pretty much what I'm going to say about Chingy. That's pretty much all I'm going to say. So, yeah. And we're going to transition over to some NBA news. We're going to talk about Eric Bledsoe himself. We're going to talk about, oh my God, what is up with these athletes and these domestic abuse violence charges, bro? Like, back in the day when Ray Rice did it, that was fucking nuts. And then we had the whole Miles Bridges thing. Shout out my boy Richie Rich, Miles Bridges, but I don't hit no bitches. He basically pulled a Miles Bridges. This man, Eric Bledsoe, just signed with the Shanghai Sharks of the CBA, right? And right after getting that, this man pulled a Miles Bridges. He hit his girlfriend, and his girlfriend made the allegations. No, domestic abuse, so on and so forth. I don't understand how this happens. How whenever you sign a contract or whenever something lit is happening to you, there's some domestic abuse or some bullshit that ends up getting in the way. Like, look at LiAngelo Ball. This man legit could have stayed in college if he did not steal those stuff in China. Like, everything would have been different. His whole career would have been different. It's the same thing with Eric Bledsoe. I mean, his career is like damn near over at this point, man. There's no coming back from this. I don't know, though, because, I mean, Rondo, he semi got away with it, and I covered it in a video a few months back, and no one's really tarnished his name or, like, banished him like the way they did, like, Ray Rice in the NFL, but then again, those are two different leagues, but that's besides the point. Point of the story is, long story short, is Eric Bledsoe really did that right after signing, and that's just fucking nuts. All I'm going to say is, bro, that's tough. That's crazy. Like, I don't know what else to say, bro. Like, that's crazy. And last but not least, we're going to cover Yee, a.k.a. Kanye West, a.k.a. Wake Up Mr. West. What is there to say? I mean, I'm pretty late to the Kanye party as it is, but the Kanye party is still going on. The party never ends. And I'm not even talking about just at this point. I mean, what can I really say about Kanye? What is there to say that hasn't been said already? Am I going to talk about the fact that he's no longer a billionaire? Am I going to talk about the fact that he is no longer with Adidas? Am I going to talk about the fact that this man really was awesome on these Jewish claims? No, I'm not surprised by any of this. This is the same man that said that slavery was a choice. He said it was a choice. They chose to be that way. Does anything that Kanye says really just bother you? I don't think it does. Like, Kanye has not been mentally there for the past few years. Prime Kanye was just mentally straight. I'm not saying anything. And LH has no problem with not being there all the way mentally. We're all human too. I'm not mentally there either. I'm still battling my demons. I'm still fighting what I gotta fight. But it's just the shit that he says that it drives me up the wall. It doesn't grind my gears. It drives me up the wall. Is there anything to be surprised about what Kanye is saying? I'm not surprised with any of this. I don't think we should. All of us should be surprised. What really shocks me is the fact that he's no longer a billionaire. After all this, after being kicked out of his own company, he is no longer a millionaire. He's no longer a billionaire. He pulled a Drippum Defoe and got kicked out of his own company. He got kicked out of his own company. And now all that Oscorp money, all that Yeezy money, gone. Vanished. Like Thanos snapped. Bang. It's all gone. Like, bro, I bet you right now, after them recording this video, I could literally pull up to a Marshalls. I could pull up to like a Adidas spot. And I can get foam runners that go for like 150. I can get them for like 60. Maybe 80. If they want to respect, maybe 80. But I'm pushing it right there. Like, bro, it doesn't surprise me. All the Yeezys, they're going to drop in prices. And anyone who is associated with Kanye West, I'd keep that on the low, at least for a little bit. It's being associated with him is like being associated with Snitch 9, like, or like Travis Scott. It's like, can you really trust him? Is he really cool? Is he really this, really that? I don't know, gang. That's my take on the whole Kanye scenario. That's just me, though. And then I'll be off for this week's episode of Out of Bounds News. I hope you guys enjoyed it. Make sure to like, comment, subscribe. Always helps the channel out. NLH, stay tuned to the end of the video. We got the NLH official theme song. Shout out my boy Jock MK. Shout out my boy J612. Peep that hoe. Link in the description. But NLH, they told me never lose hope. And I'm going to see y'all in the next video. Peace.
They told me I should never lose hope. They told me I should never lose my soul. They told me I should never lose hope. They told me I should never lose my soul. They told me I should never lose my soul.